Today will be a very special video and series if it does very well, so make sure to show this video all the support you can by watching it all the way through, liking it, and commenting. Today's a very special moment for the channel as we are going to be diving into Dragon Ball and DC, mixing two things together. And so today, we will be discussing what if Goku had the Speed Force. Now, for those people who don't know what the Speed Force is, it's basically a power that the Flash used. If you don't know who the Flash is somehow, he uses this ability, and it's so OP, the point where he can travel through times and realities, but we're not going to get there just yet. But it's its own force and power. And they use this to be able to reach super speeds, to be able to go through times and realities, and more. But we're going to discuss what if Goku actually got this power. Now, of course, we are going to make it a bit realistic here and fit the Dragon Ball world a little bit. As you know, the Dragon Ball realities and how things works with timelines is a little bit different than DC, but it's still going to work out really well. So how would Goku even get the Speed Force? Well, the Speed Force will still be an ancient power inside of the Dragon Ball universe. It's one of the things that moves all the universes, all 12, forward. That's how time works. It moves it forward. And that's what the Speed Force does. Well, Goku would be one of the only ones to get this power, as when Goku was traveling to Earth after Bardock sacrificed himself and alongside the Saiyans were all destroyed while battling the mighty Frieza, Goku's ship was hit by a Speed Force lightning. And this lightning hit his ship, and it actually transferred the Speed Force into Goku, and Goku survived. Now, when Goku does land and Grandpa Gohan meets him, most of the events go the same. Except one difference, his eating habits is even worse than the original, which you guys know is bad. Goku has to eat non-stop, all the time, as he eats massive meals super quick, as he already eats a lot as a Saiyan, but his metabolism is even higher than the original because of the Speed Force. And of course, the more that he uses the Speed Force, the more he's going to have to eat, but we'll discuss that in one moment. As, can Goku just tap into the Speed Force whenever he wants? No. So, at the early stage, the Speed Force is too draining, so Goku can only tap into it in burst. And this is referring to when Goku meets Bulma for the first time, and yes, Grandpa Gohan would sadly be killed by Goku, who becomes a Great Ape. That becomes all the same. It's just Goku can do short little bursts, and they're short sprints as they're like a blur, and it lets him dodge attacks and cover ground really fast, as he can go, supersonic speeds. Now, we know that a lot of characters in Dragon Ball, that's not too shocking for them, as we even see Master Roshi casually catch bullets and, blitz in terms of speeds, but Goku goes much faster than he does in the original, many times faster, breaking sound barriers, but when he does this, he's extremely tired. So, Goku can only use it within a few seconds. Now, he also has enhanced reflexes. Now, when he taps into this for just a few moments, I'll say about 5 seconds, his perception slows the world around him, like bullet time. And this does help him with catching attacks or more. And now, of course, whenever he uses this, his hunger spikes up way higher because metabolism strain, as using the Speed Force tires him out quickly. So he would have to eat even more than usual. And he can even use the Speed Force to do a minor accelerated healing, but it leaves him exhausted. So if Goku had a cut on his arm, he could speed up the process. Instead of it taking maybe a few days to heal, maybe even a week, it would even take him about an hour or less because he used the Speed Force, but it exhausts him when he does so. So that's basically the powers that he has now. He's very similar to Kid Flash, capable of bursts of speed, but he burns out quickly. This is the current Goku, so you guys get a full setting of his abilities. So Goku will still meet Bulma, who is searching for the Dragon Ball. She finds the 4-star Dragon Ball, and Goku decides to travel alongside of her. It's sort of like a bodyguard. Now, Goku would take care of a lot of threats, pretty much the same, as the Speed Force, he knows he can tap into it, is only for extreme use because he knows that it tires him out really fast. So it's kind of like a final trump card in case something goes rough. They would still meet Master Roshi. Master Roshi can sense a power within the kid, but he can't really get an exact kind of sight on it. He doesn't know what it is. He's never sensed it before. It's different than Ki, but he's some kind of energy. But he would still decide to give him the Dragon Ball and the Flying Nimbus, which of course Goku can jump on, no issue. Now, yes, if Goku wants to, he can run super quick. He can run, supersonic speeds, which is, keeping up with the Nimbus, if not faster. But you have to understand, he can't use it for really long times. So he can only use it maybe for a couple of seconds to maybe if he's at full health and he's fully, stuffed in his stomach, he can actually run for maybe 30 seconds or more. So the Nimbus seems like a more efficient way of travel for the time being. When he does get older, he'll start using running more than anything else. So they would still defeat Oolong, and originally when Yamcha and Puar, Goku got a little bit poisoned because he was also super hungry at the time. Bulma notices this because he's eating through all their food at an alarming rate. So she actually asked her dad if there's something that they can come up with so Goku can help them find the Dragon Balls. And his dad is actually kind of curious, so he actually says yes, and he'll maybe look at something. Bulma even thinks about something herself, as Bulma wants to be a scientist. So Goku, when Yamcha tried attacking him with the Wolf Fang Fist, Goku was hungry at the time. But I think Goku would tap into the Speed Force for a short moment and dodge his Wolf Fang Fist attack. And he would do a blitz of punches, which would knock out Yamcha in hilarious fashion. But doing that exhausted Goku. Now, Master Roshi would still use the Kamehameha attack to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now, although he destroys the mountain along with the castle as well, among the debris, they do find the 7-star Dragon Ball. Goku would have still defeated Boss Rabbit and his gang. Now, originally, Mayan Shu kind of snuck up on them, and then he stole the Dragon Balls from Goku and the gang, and then they were thrown into his castle. And that's when Pilaf summoned Shenron. The Dirty Wish would have still been made. But when Goku looks at the moon, he turns into a Great Ape and destroys Pilaf Castle. We're going to say that happens the same. Because while he does have Speed Force, he can't get himself out, as he can't punch his way through. But he still turns into a Great Ape and destroys the castle. Now, this is when Goku and Krillin become Master Roshi students after finding launch, and they would then spend the next 7 months training. Now, Goku would be eating all of Roshi's food. So what would Roshi have to do? Well, Roshi would then tell Goku that, listen, it's time to do your training. You eat a lot. And if that's the case, look at this ocean around us. So you're going to have to hunt your own fish, which is easy for Goku. He can kill a fish the size of a bus, which is hilarious. So Goku would have to do that a lot, as Roshi and Krillin had no food because Goku eats it all, which was a lot. But Goku learns to basically do his own thing, so Goku's sustainable. Now, Roshi does note on how Goku does have this power, and it's very strange. As he tells Goku to use it, Goku would then focus, as they were wide out in the open plains, a little bit away from his island. Goku would then get into a running position, as then his eyes almost had lightning shooting through them, and power. As Goku then blitzed, running, leaving a line of orange as he moved so quickly. Having electricity around him, Goku tapped into Speed Force for a short moment, and broke speeds that Roshi didn't think was possible. He broke the sound barrier. Now, of course, Goku was panting, he was exhausted, as he was eating a lot and drinking a lot because of it. Roshi thought, this is incredible. He said, well, if this power is anything like I would imagine, it can be trained. You need to train your body. He says you need to use that power more and more. The more you use it, the more your body will get used to it, and you can tap into it more and more. It's almost like training a muscle. And Goku says, sure, I'll try. And so that's what Goku does. Not pushing himself to the limit, but he does train using the Speed Force more and more. Now, one thing, will this also increase his power? Yes, of course, because he's using a new power, which is the Speed Force. Now, one thing as well, could this also increase his ki potential? Because ki is circulatory, as it surrounds the body. Could this mean that Goku could realistically increase his potential down the line? It is possible, because he can speed his Zenkais, he can speed up his biology to make it to where his ki circulation is faster growth. That is a potential thing, but that'll be way later down the line. So it wouldn't make too much sense for him to have that kind of control that early on. So now Goku and Krillin and Roshi would then leave to participate in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, of course, Roshi is under the alias of Jackie Chun, and he does battle Krillin. Goku fights Krillin as well. And we would then have Goku versus Roshi in the end matchup. Now, it would be a very close fight. Goku's power level is pretty much the same. It wouldn't really make any sense for him to make him that much stronger, as what Goku has is the Speed Force. So when Roshi is about to defeat him, even after Goku turned into a Great Ape, changed, got his new clothes on, after Roshi blew up the moon, As now, Goku would then use the Speed Force in one final movement. He's exhausted, they've already fought a lot, but he has no choice. So Goku would then charge up into Speed Force power that he has not used before. He would run in too fast for Roshi to even block and punch Roshi right in the stomach, which would then send Roshi into the wall of the arena, knocking him out. But Goku would then collapse due to exhaustion, as using that amount of Speed Force was too much for him, and Goku would then go unconscious for a short moment. He would then wake up, as he was okay, he was starving. He would then eat up all the funds as he was the winner within a fast amount of time, even overcharging him, which then Roshi had to cover, and then Bulma even had to cover the price. As originally he ate around 50 to 60 full course meals. This time he ate around 120, which is kind of inhuman. But it's because Goku uses Speed Force, it increases his hunger by large amounts. But now, past this is when the Red Ribbon Army Saga would then take place, as they would begin searching for the Dragon Balls. And now, Goku would then, after Bulma repairs the Broken Dragon Radar, Goku would then confront General Blue. Now, originally, General Blue actually defeated Goku. This time, I don't think so. While General Blue was slightly stronger than Goku, Goku would use his Speed Force abilities and overwhelm General Blue, defeating him. Where Goku would still meet Ariel, and Ariel would, of course, beat Blue anyway, as she's a gag character. Now, Mercenary Tao originally killed General Blue, and then he beats up Goku, and Goku then climbs up Corn's tower. That wouldn't happen, as Goku here would actually defeat Mercenary Tao. Although he's extremely exhausted, Oppa would help Goku, and Goku would be able to climb up to Corn's tower, where Corn would have more time to kind of train Goku and to kind of keep him around. So, after 3+ days of training, Goku would attain the Sacred Water. Now, Goku would not defeat Mercenary Tao, but Goku would have a more thorough defeat of the Red Ribbon Army, as he would quickly defeat him using his Speed Force power. As, of course, we know that Goku got a little Zenkai at the time, so he did get stronger, and his connection with the Speed Force is even better than ever. Goku's able to outrun for minutes at a time before he gets tired. Now, of course, he was still fighting Force of the Battle Arena, and he would still fight his dead grandfather, where he would meet him once again. Now, for the next 3 years, Goku would continue training. Really training in the Speed Force. As Goku's now 16 years of age, he is able to use the Speed Force much more efficiently. As Goku's able to run for minutes and minutes on end, no issue. He's able to use the Speed Force much better, and it really helps him out. Now, Goku also uses his acceleration to increase his strikes, and which increases his damage. Now, one thing to note, people will ask, wouldn't Goku's clothes just burn when he starts running at supersonic speed? Realistically, yes, but we're going to see that Goku, of course, with the Speed Force protective barrier around him, it doesn't really happen. Now, maybe down the line, you could even say that maybe during those 3 years he met Bulma, and because his clothes started burning up or getting damaged, Bulma's father makes clothing that looks just like Goku's, to where he can run full speed and he's okay, his clothes doesn't burn, but that'll be later on. But now, in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, originally Tien Shinhan did beat Goku just by a second. But this time, this would not happen. Goku would overwhelm Tien very quickly. Goku's raw speed is way too much for Tien, and that's what Tien actually had on Goku in the original. Goku was a little bit stronger than Tien, but Tien had more speed. Goku this time around has way more speed. He would run circles around Tien, and even though Tien could try everything he could against Goku, Goku would have defeated him, landing powerful punches on Tien in quick succession and knocking him out of the ring. But it was still a pretty good battle. Tien was able to land some hits on Goku near the end of the fight when Goku was getting tired. Now, this is when Goku would then meet Yajirobe after Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine and Demon King Piccolo appeared. Now, he would have easily defeated Tambourine, and Goku would then cross paths with Demon King Piccolo. Now, one thing to note as well, Goku already fought Tambourine. I don't think he would need the Speed Force to fight him. Goku already is really powerful. He defeated Tambourine pretty easily on his own. When he does fight Demon King Piccolo is in some trouble. Because Goku is furious, he uses the Speed Force to its full potential that his body can handle, and he blitzes Demon King Piccolo, punching him with thousands of punches that Demon King Piccolo can't even dodge. So he's getting overwhelmed. He would then fire a Ki Blast into the ground, destroying the ground that Goku was running on, so Goku would then launch away. As he knows that he's dying, because remember, He's already old at the time, and the punches that Goku landed on him were killing him. So out of desperation, he would still spit out an egg, and Goku would then be ready, as he would then charge everything that he had, getting into a running stance, as the red lightning orange would then surround him, as he would tell Demon Piccolo he's going to hit him with everything that he's got, as he then runs full speed so fast that the wind is destroying the trees and buildings around him. He's going faster than supersonic. He's breaking sound barriers and more, as Goku's growing speeds that he never thought he could before, going full speed. As his fist charged up with Speed Force energy, he flies right towards Demon King Piccolo like a missile. Demon King Piccolo holds his hands out trying to block it. It was not able. As he would then see Goku charging forward, as then a massive sphere of a great ape covered in Speed Force energy would appear behind him. He would hit Demon King Piccolo, punching right through him, leaving a massive hole, and Demon King Piccolo was defeated, as he would then explode due to the Speed Force energy. And Goku actually defeated him. Now Goku was completely exhausted because of this, and then Yajirobe would then actually take Goku up to Korn's tower. Now Goku would recover. Why? Senzu Bean. Senzu Beans are actually able to cover your hunger for weeks on end, as it tastes really nasty, but it fully recovers Goku's power, and he's actually kind of full right now. Okay, that's okay. He likes that. Now Yajirobe actually ate all the Senzu Beans, which was pretty hilarious, and Goku would then actually drink the sacred water, and with the sacred water he would get a big buff in power as he finishes Korn's training. Now how strong is Goku at this time? Well, Goku's power level will pretty much be the same, being at around 260. But when he uses the Speed Force, his power jumps up much higher, and he's able to use more abilities and increase his power by using the Speed Force, so that kind of gives you a kind of roundabout. Now, he would begin training on Kami's lookout, and Kami would then restore the planet's moon, and for safety reasons, yes, he would still also remove Goku's tail, because Goku as a great ape is too dangerous. Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chaozu would also climb up Korn's tower, and after training under Korn, they split up and train on their own for the remaining time before the 23rd World Tournament. Now for these 3 years, Goku would really start to learn more things with the Speed Force. Now, what this means, his stamina is much higher, meaning that he's able to sustain super speed. He can move and fight at lightning speeds, making him nearly untouchable for slower fighters. And he will be able to learn some more abilities, as we'll touch on. But of course, he also has the Speed Force Aura, which protects him and anything he carries from friction, heat, and G-forces, as he's running faster than hypersonic speeds. Now, because of this, he has also increased his potential. As the Speed Force, it enhances his ki circulation. It gives him faster growth and power levels than Canon, because he's using the Speed Force much more. So at this point, he's terrifying, because he has the Saiyan abilities mixed with the Speed Force. He's actually getting more powerful as time goes on. So he would still meet his friends, and yes, he would still meet Chi-Chi just like the original, where he would still promise to marry her, as he did promise her. Now, when he does battle Tien, he doesn't even need to move his clothing, as he defeats Tien pretty easily. This version of Goku is actually stronger than the original. We'll discuss that one moment. As after Tien was defeated, Goku wouldn't even need to use the Speed Force to beat him. Goku was already more powerful than Tien anyway. Piccolo would have been the problem. Now, Piccolo, of course, you would have been pretty much the same power level, having power levels up in the 300s. Now, as you know, when he goes to fight Goku, how strong is Goku here? Well, Goku's power level, because his potential is getting a little bit higher and higher as he's using the Speed Force more and more, he can use it to enhance his circulation to make himself more faster and to also increase his power. Well, Goku's power level at this time is 500, which is really insane. So he's already well over around 200 or so higher than before, and he's nearly around 80 or so power level higher than when he fought Raditz, which doesn't seem like a huge jump, but in terms of scaling in Dragon Ball, it actually is. Well, Goku would fight Piccolo Jr., and Piccolo Jr. would be in some serious trouble. He can't even hit Goku. Goku's too fast. Even with the Speed Force, he can't match Piccolo's power. Now, I think the fight would still get serious. Why is this? Because when Goku knocks down Piccolo, he drops his guard still. Now, in the original, Goku was hit in the shoulder, and this turned the fight on Piccolo's side. This time, Goku would see the attack coming, but he couldn't dodge it like the original. This time he does. Why? Because of his perception, aka his hands reflexes. He would tap into the Speed Force and barely dodge the attack. It would still graze his shoulder, but he was able to dodge it. But Goku was okay, as he would then deliver a powerful punch to Piccolo, ending him, not killing him, as Piccolo was defeated. Now, Kami was ready to kill Piccolo, but Goku would actually stop him and tell him no. As, remember, he knows that if Piccolo dies, then Kami will die as well, meaning there will be no more Dragon Balls, which would shock everybody. And now that this is the case, Goku and Chi-Chi would then get married, and they would still have their son Gohan. Now, Major Dragon, will Gohan have the Speed Force? No, he will not. This is for Goku, no one else. But yes, Goku will have the Speed Force, but not Gohan. Gohan, of course, has his busted potential already, so that's all that Gohan really needs. But Goku would then spend the next 5 years doing his normal thing. He didn't really train too much, he even said so himself, as he was kind of just relaxing a little bit. So that's why his power level didn't jump too much higher, and even Piccolo joked on him for slacking off a little bit. But now, Goku would of course still test his Speed Force abilities, as since now he's much older, he can use the Speed Force comfortably. He can run at way higher speeds for much faster times. And he will also have a new ability, but we'll touch upon this in a moment. As Raditz will still arrive, searching for his brother. Now, Goku would still have Gohan, and they would then travel over to Master Roshi's home, where they would meet up all his friends, as it's been over 5 years. Now, here's one thing. How would Goku handle his eating habits? You guys gotta remember, Chi-Chi's not made out of money, and Goku's eating is 2 to 3 times higher because of the Speed Force. Yeah, they're gonna go bankrupt real quick. Well, you could say that Chi-Chi forces Goku to do farming early, so Goku actually does farming and grows crops, as to make them kind of survive. Another thing is Bulma, or even Bulma's father, would have met Goku maybe a few years beforehand, as Bulma's father made something called an energy bar. Now, this bar basically is what the Flash also eats as well. It's something that has so many calories in it, and it's not too bad tasting either, that he can snack on it and he feels satisfied. So Goku's eating is pretty much back to what it originally was. So he's kind of able to eat this and be okay. So basically, Goku, his eating habits is under control. So Chi-Chi's not going bankrupt. Sorry, Ox King. As now, Goku would then meet Raditz, who would arrive and tell him of the Saiyans, who he is, and he's irritated that Goku lost his tail and the fact that Earth was not taken over. Well, at this time, he would then slap Krillin into Roshi's home, and originally, he kneed Goku in the stomach. Now, one thing to note is Raditz is absurdly fast. People don't realize how fast some of these characters are. Now, of course, Goku, you could say, oh, well, Goku can just perceive it, so he could just dodge the attack. Well, dropping your guard is still a big thing in Dragon Ball. What I think what would happen here is he would still get Goku and his guard was dropped. And yes, I know the thing with Piccolo, but Piccolo was weaker than Goku. Goku's power level is still around 500. Raditz is 1,000, 200,000, 500, so he's over double the power of Goku. And he hits Goku out of nowhere, and Goku wasn't expecting it. Do I think it would hurt Goku as badly? No, but I still think it would stun him for a short moment. Raditz would then fly off, so Goku's faster to catch up. So instead of Nimbus, Goku would actually run across the water, and his speed was so high that Piccolo would struggle to keep up, because Piccolo can fly at this time. And people have to remember, people like Piccolo, they can fire ki attacks, mind you, that can hit the moon within a few seconds. That's nearly light speed, which is insane. It's around 1/3 the speed of light, which is insane. But we're not going to dive into busted characters firing attacks. That's a bit different. But yes, Goku's speed is enhanced massively, so he's way faster than before. Now when they do go to fight Raditz, Raditz is in some trouble, because yes, Goku's power level is around 500, but Raditz can't hit Goku. Goku is too fast. Even though Raditz is multiple times stronger than him, and he would be multiple times faster than him, than normal Goku, using the Speed Force, can't hit him. So Goku lands hundreds of punches on Raditz, breaking his armor, and what can Raditz do? But the punches don't damage him too badly, it's just pissing him off. Now Goku's starting to get a little bit tired near the end, as Piccolo says, I have an idea. He would then charge with a special beam cannon. And Goku got it. So he grabs his tail, and just like the original, Goku falters. As Raditz tricks him, Goku goes up his tail, he hits Goku away. Now, this is when Gohan would still actually hit Raditz, seeing his anger. Piccolo had the Special Beam Cannon ready. Now, this is when Goku then grabs Raditz, just like before, and tells Piccolo to do it. Piccolo then fires the Special Beam Cannon. Now, when it hits Raditz, it would then go through him, and originally it hit Goku. But this time around, something happens. Goku doesn't know what it is, as his body begins to vibrate. It begins to vibrate so fast that his hand actually goes through Raditz's body, phases right through him. And the Special Beam Cannon would actually go through Goku, but not at the same time. Goku phases through the Special Beam Cannon using his vibrational phase that the Flash can do. Basically, he can vibrate the molecules to pass through walls or avoid damage. Goku would then move out of the way, and the blast time would then go back to normal, as then the blast hit through Raditz and Raditz fell. Piccolo was shocked to see Goku standing there. As Goku then looks down, he was fine. Nothing injured him. His clothes were burnt where the hole was, but his body was fine. He wasn't pierced. He was okay. Goku didn't know what he did. It just kind of happened. He doesn't know what that was. And he says, I don't know. Everything slowed down. I was able to move out of the way. And since this is the case, this of course changes the story. So Goku never dies, he never goes to King Kai's. Now, realistically, he still can. Now, Major Dragon, why is this? Well, because Kami still knew of King Kai's whereabouts, he knows about him, and when they are all on Kami's lookout, Raditz still would have warned of the Saiyans who are heading towards Earth to avenge him. Kami would still tell Goku that there is a teacher who can help Goku train if they can get past King Yama. And while all the Earthlings in the room will stay here and train, Piccolo would then train Gohan. When Goku goes to meet King Yama, he also has a backpack full of these, of course, super calorie bars that Bulma gave him so he can survive the trip running down the Snake Way, which is a massive, massive length. As King Yama, of course, would not let Goku go past. But then Goku would state, well, if we don't, then these two evil Saiyans, they're going to destroy the whole planet Earth. That's over 8 billion people. And King Yama would begin sweating as he states, never mind, you know what? In my judgment, I will let you go past. But don't think this will be the one time I'll let it happen. This will just be the one time. As he doesn't want to deal with 8 billion people for paperwork. He's already overwhelmed as is. And then Kami says, good, now use that speed of yours to get there as fast as possible. Now, not only is Goku's power level much higher, remember he did get a little bit of a Zenkai for fighting Raditz. His power levels are at around 600. So he is a little bit stronger than the original. With the Speed Force, he's able to make it to King Kai's much faster. He can just blitz, going full speed, running all the way there. Of course, he has to stop and eat some of these bars and things like that to kind of, kind of help himself out as he gets hungry. But he was able to get to King Kai's in record times. As Goku originally took months. He only had around 3 months of training under King Kai's belt. But Goku here, in my opinion, with the Speed Force that he has, he would arrive there within a week. You heard me. A week. Maybe 2 weeks. Even if you want to highball him and say, oh, it took him a month still. Well, that's still 11 months of training. So when Goku does arrive to King Kai's world after a month, let's say a month, just a little ball, why not? As when he does arrive, he then falls flat on his face because of the 10 times gravity. He has to get used to it. And he actually uses the Speed Force to actually catch bubbles, which would make him not as fast because he's 10 times heavier, but he was able to grab bubbles, which would actually impress King Kai. And he says, what was that power that you just used? Now, this would, of course, intrigue him, as Goku would then show off the power to him after removing his clothing, which is weighted. He feels a lot lighter. King Kai was in shock, and he says, You have access to the Speed Force. And Goku says, what? Speed Force? What is that? And they said, well, sit down. He would then sit down with Goku and he explains the Speed Force is a plane of pure energy. And it's tied to the fabric of the universe itself, as it serves as a source of power for beings. And really the source of the power to move time forward. It moves everything forward. Things when they go forward is because of the Speed Force. It's almost like an dimensional energy source that exists everywhere at all times. And he says, for some reason, you are able to utilize the Speed Force. He says, no one's ever been able to do that before. And Goku says, oh. He says, well, what does that mean? And he says, well, you're my student now, as I've never seen someone that can use that ability. It's very dangerous. And he says, if you have that power, if used enough, you could even travel through time itself. Shocking Goku. And he says, but time travel is banned. I don't know what ability you have with the Speed Force. I don't know what. It's a big unknown for me. And he says, but I'll train you if you can tell me a funny joke. Goku, of course, tells him a funny joke, which is not funny at all. Like, I'll see you next fall. Makes him laugh. He then begins to train Goku. As Goku starts his training, he has 11 months to train. With the gravity, he's really pushing his Saiyan potential to its true limits. Because remember, Goku was on Earth. When Saiyans are born, they're raised on planet Vegeta, where 10 times gravity becomes nothing to them. That's where they're so strong. They reach their natural potential. Goku never had that. And if you look at people like Bardock, who was able to reach power level over 10,000, which is insane, Goku's potential has always been pretty high. So if you tie that in to Goku utilizing his full power, Goku's power level, what will it be? Well, Goku would actually arrive on time. When the Saiyans do attack, Goku would arrive on time. Goku would then blitz full speed from King Kai's world through Snake Way. Goku is faster than ever, traveling at speeds nearing the speed of light. He would move so fast that he would arrive within a few short hours. And he would arrive on time, as he's way early. When he does arrive, the Saiyans just arrived and Goku's ready to battle them. They would move towards the Rocky Wasteland. As Nappa will still plant the Cybermen, and this is when I think Goku would actually step up, and he tells his friends that he'll handle the Saiyan guys and the Cybermen. As Goku's power is insane, how strong is Goku? Well, from what we originally know, Goku, he got around 18.8 times stronger. Now, the fact is, if Goku, instead of spending 3 months training on King Kai's world, and he spent 11 months, that would be a 3.6 times increase to the multiplier that he originally had. So 3.6 times 18.8 would mean that Goku got 68.9 times stronger, realistically basing off of scaling, which would put his power level at 41,360. We're going to say 42,000. Goku's power level at 42,000. As he begins to power up, Vegeta would be in shock as his scouter would shoot past 30,000 and it would then explode. As Nappa said, Vegeta, what's his power level? And he says it's over 30,000. And Nappa said 30,000, that's impossible. As there's no way that a low class, the power level over 30,000. That would make him the most powerful Saiyan that ever existed. That's impossible. As Nappa said, the scouter must be busted. So he then sicks the Cybermen on Goku, and Goku would move so quick that time would almost freeze, as in slow motion. He would then punch each Cyberman, and they would just be ripped apart. Gohan style to the Cell Juniors. And they were shocked to see this. As he defeated all the Cybermen with ease. He tells his friends to back away. He'll handle Nappa and Vegeta. Even everyone else, the Z-Fighters, are in shock with how strong Goku has become. This is not Goku no more. He's something else. As Goku would then tell Nappa and Vegeta that he'll give them one chance to get on up out of here. And Nappa, of course, is overconfident. He would then begin to try and attack Goku, but Goku would dodge his attacks with so much ease. He doesn't even need the Speed Force, mind you, to dodge Nappa's attacks, by the way. He's just built different. He's so much faster at this time, he doesn't even need the Speed Force, but we're going to say he does because he's just mastering it. As he would then run around Nappa, causing, of course, a line of orange, shocking Vegeta. He says, what power is that? And enhances his speed. Vegeta can't even keep track of him at all. And Goku says, are you sure you want to give up now? As he would appear behind Nappa, tapping his back. Nappa tries punching him. Goku appears behind him, tapping his back again. Are you sure you want to give up now? He's just toying with Nappa, since he can't even hit him. Nappa, of course, gets so angry, that a vein appears on his forehead, he then fires a massive mouth beam right to Goku's friends, out of anger. Goku would of course appear in front of the beam, and he would slap it out of the way. He then tells Nappa, fine, you leave me no choice. Goku would then rush in so fast that he would punch Nappa right in the stomach and then kick him in the back, which would break his back, as Nappa would then fall. As it was within a fraction of a second, no one saw it. It was almost like a blur. It was almost like a blur line just hit Nappa. Boom, boom, he was done. And Nappa would ask Vegeta for help, as Vegeta would then throw Nappa in the air and kill him. Vegeta then states, well, you know, I will admit, your power is incredible, but I am above you. I see you don't have your tail. And he says, you're a fool. Now, Vegeta cannot see the moon. He doesn't see it in the air, but of course he can make one. As Piccolo would have still destroyed the moon because Gohan transformed into a great ape, so that would still happen. He would have then formed his own fake moon, throwing it in the air. He would then transform into a great ape. This was a little bit of a problem because, of course, Vegeta is a great ape. But there's one thing as well, the Kaioken technique. Now, realistically, Kaioken with the Speed Force would be a little bit weird, but Goku doesn't really need the Kaioken technique. He has the Speed Force. And then Vegeta just can't catch him. While Vegeta is really fast in that Uzara form, he's bulky, he's lumber. Goku is so fast that he can't be caught. So Goku says, I need to remove his tail. If we remove it, we're able to turn it back to normal. So he would then have Krillin appear in front of Vegeta and hit him with the Solar Flare technique. This would give Goku enough time to appear behind Vegeta and remove his tail within a fast movement. And with Vegeta's tail now lost, he would then revert back to normal. He would then try to battle Goku, but Goku was just dodging every attack. He can't match Vegeta. And Vegeta just can't match him. Vegeta would get overwhelmed by Goku being beaten really badly, but Goku would spare Vegeta. Why? Because Goku wanted to show Vegeta what mercy means. As this is just Goku's character. Vegeta sees that he has no chance. He would then tell Kakarot that he'll regret sparing him, and Vegeta would then fly off. Now when Vegeta then leaves, Goku would then look to his friends and say, oh, well, problem solved. Now, what would happen for Vegeta? Well, Vegeta, I think, would start causing some trouble, as he would get a Zenkai. It's probably pretty much the same. I think he would still kill Dodoria. Now, Frieza would have never gone to Namek, mind you. Why? Because they never spoke about the Dragon Balls. So why would Frieza go to Namek? That would never happen. So since this is the case, Frieza would just be on one of the future sides of the galaxy, doing his thing, destroying planets. He doesn't have no care. Now, we heard that Vegeta lost to a Saiyan with the power level of over 30,000. It actually kind of intrigued Frieza a little bit, but he doesn't really care. As he then gets notified, of course, when Vegeta starts going rogue. Vegeta would have attacked Dodoria and Kui, killing them. Zarbon would tell Frieza that he dispatched Vegeta, and that Vegeta is in the healing chamber now, as he says that he handled him. Frieza would of course say fine, if he ever acts out again, kill him, as we have no more use for him. Now this is when Vegeta would recover, kill Zarbon. That would then get Frieza's attention, as Frieza then says, very well, send the Ginyu Force. Vegeta's not a fool, he knows that the Ginyu Force are chasing him, so where would Goku go? The one person that he knows could beat the Ginyu Force would be Goku. As he doesn't want to do this, he doesn't have a choice. It's either die or swallow this pride one time and go to Earth. And Vegeta would. Vegeta would then land on Earth, as he would then see Kakarot arrive, and Kakarot was ready to fight him again. But Vegeta says, listen to me very carefully. He says that he had to defend himself against a few people, blah blah. The Ginyu Force is arriving. He explains who Frieza is, and he explains who the Ginyu Force are, and says that their power levels surpass even yours. And he says that they are extraordinarily powerful. And he says, I need your help in stopping them, as they're heading here. Now, of course, Vegeta knows that Goku wouldn't really believe him fully. He says, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have saw that I failed my mission here, and they would have came here anyway. It doesn't matter. So you're lucky I came here and I warned you. And he says, judging at their speed, maybe have a day before they would arrive, as they were right on his tail. And Goku says, a day, huh? He says, okay. Well, there is something that we can do. As he would then take Vegeta to Kami's lookout, and he says that these Ginyu Force are as strong as you say they are. And he says, yes, their leader is nearly the strength of me in my great ape state, but he's not big. And he says, oh, that could be a problem. And he says, well, I have an idea. As the Z Fighters were all not very happy to see Vegeta there, Goku says, well, Kami, is it possible if we can use the Room of Spirit and Time? Our story last ended with Son Goku and Vegeta actually teaming up. Well, when we last ended, Vegeta was causing a lot of issues among the Frieza Force, killing Dodoria and even Zarbon. This got Frieza's attention, and Frieza would then send the Ginyu Force after Vegeta. Vegeta, having no other option, would flee back to Earth, knowing that Kakarot was there, as that is his best option to survive. Once when he does arrive, they do arrive on Kami's lookout, and they do discuss that they only have a day to train, and if they're as strong as the Ginyu Force says they are, then they need to train. But how can they train a day and get stronger? As Vegeta's thinking this, Goku explains that there is one thing that they could do. You can get a full year of training in just one day. And what would that be? The Room of Spirit and Time. As Kami says that yes, it is ready, and only 2 people can go in one time. Of course, this will just be Goku and Vegeta. As so, Goku and Vegeta would then step in the Room of Spirit and Time, and Vegeta would note on how the air is thick here. It's infinite. You can see forever. Goku would explain that the room is also 10 times gravity, which won't really affect as much, I know. But what makes it different is it's an infinite void. Weather changes randomly. Some days, it's burning hot, to where you can barely breathe. Some days, it's freezing cold. This will be mentally very taxing, Vegeta. If you're up for it, let's do it. So, Vegeta and Goku would begin their training. It was grueling. Now, mind you, Vegeta's never really done any kind of training in his life. He's just a fighter. He's just got some Zenkais here and there. While Goku's whole life has been training. He's been taught by dozens of masters. Goku is a genius when it comes to getting stronger. And with Vegeta there, they would really bounce off one another. Now, of course, Goku is superior to Vegeta because of the Speed Force and the fact that he can even increase his ability to grow stronger faster. He can increase his ki circulation in his body if he really wanted to. Now, Vegeta notes on how, what is this power anyway? This speed thing that you call. What is it? Goku would explain more in detail of what it is, shocking Vegeta, and Goku says it just happened. As Vegeta would then pause, silent for a few moments, he says that, damn, how can a low class like you have such a God-given power, yet I don't? And Goku says, well, I don't know, I didn't want it, it just kind of happened. And Vegeta says, it doesn't matter, let's get back to training. We need to beat the Ginyu Force. So after the 24 hours would have passed, the Ginyu Force would then arrive. Now, mind you, the Z Fighters can't really match the Ginyu Force, they're far above them. And so, Goku and Vegeta would then step out, and they are much, much stronger. Way stronger than I think you guys will imagine, as they had a full year to train together. Now, how strong are they? Well, when the Ginyu Force does arrive, Vegeta would step up first, telling Kakarot to stay the hell out of his way. He needs this, as he already had to deal with him for a year. As Guldo would be the first one to step up. Now, Guldo does have an incredible ability to where he can actually freeze time while he holds his breath, albeit he can't hold it very well. So, Vegeta would quickly dispatch Guldo. Then Recoome would be next up. Now, the Ginyu Force can't get a real scan on Vegeta's power level. It's because Vegeta has learned to conceal it. He's learned to hide his power level and show it when he can. He learned this from Earth when he first got defeated and left. That's how we got the jump on Zarbon and even Dodoria and Kui in the original. So Vegeta would fight Recoome. Now the fight would be very different. Instead of it being one-sided where Recoome kind of overwhelmed Vegeta, it would be the opposite. Recoome would do no damage to Vegeta. Vegeta would blitz Recoome and defeat him within a single strike how Goku did, and it would be a killing blow. Now of course this would then shock Ginyu and Jason Berter, as Ginyu is now interested in Vegeta's body. He says if Vegeta is this strong, he can swap bodies with him. And he'll become so powerful, no one can stop him. Oh, of course, other than Frieza. Ginyu is definitely loyal to Frieza. Even if he was above Frieza in terms of strength, he would still never turn on the Emperor because he respects Frieza so much. Now, Ginyu would of course hatch his plan, but then he would send Jason Berter after Vegeta. Vegeta would easily handle Jason Berter. Attacking them both, even though they're a good duo, they just cannot match Vegeta's power. Vegeta would have killed them both, relishing in the moment. This is when Ginyu would actually he would injure himself as he sees that Vegeta's power level is far above him. He would then do the change now technique, actually swapping bodies with Vegeta. Now Goku was shocked to see this, as he wasn't really ready to see, and he had no clue what this technique was. And now that Vegeta was in Ginyu's, now Vegeta was basically gone, Vegeta was now in Ginyu's body, Ginyu was in Vegeta's body. Ginyu would then kind of throw Vegeta to the side because he's weaker. Now, Ginyu would relish at the power. He feels as strong as Lord Frieza now. It's amazing. We're talking about the first form, by the way. As Goku would then step in, and Goku would absolutely blitz this version of Ginyu. Not only does he have the Speed Force, also because his power is similar, if not higher, than even Vegeta's. And on top of that, for some people who don't know, when Ginyu swaps bodies, it takes him a long time to adapt to it. So, while remember, he swapped bodies with Goku like in the original, Goku's power level was 90,000. When he swapped bodies with Ginyu, his power level was only 23,000 because he wasn't used to the power yet. And so because of this, Goku would absolutely body Vegeta and overwhelm him with ease. Now, Ginyu would try doing the change now technique, but Goku was ready. And also using the Speed Force, everything is enhanced. He can see things faster, feel things faster, his reaction time is faster, everything is on hyperdrive. Goku would use the Speed Force and actually swap himself with Vegeta. Vegeta would get his body back. And Ginyu was back down to normal. Now then, Vegeta, although he's a little wounded, in pure rage, he would then shoot a Big Bang attack, absolutely obliterating Captain Ginyu. And Captain Ginyu was then killed, killing the entire Ginyu Force. Now, since this is the case, when Frieza finds out what's happened, as he doesn't hear back from the Ginyu Force, Frieza was furious. All of his top men were killed, from Kui all the way to Ginyu. He cannot let this happen. If Vegeta and this other Saiyans have gotten too strong, he needs to go there personally. So Frieza would turn his ship, heading straight to Earth full speed. And he will be there within a few short days. He wasn't too far behind the Ginyu Force. He was going to catch up and see how they do. But now he's serious. And then Vegeta notes on how Frieza will arrive on Earth, Kakarot. It's inevitable. Now, we are very powerful, and I think we can defeat him with ease. But we must be ready. He then tells Kakarot, saying, let's go back inside of that room of spirit, whatever, again. Let's get stronger. And he says, well, how long do you think Frieza would even get here? And then Vegeta would then go to one of the space pods that the Ginyu Force had and check the communications and to hear that Frieza is only a few days away. He estimates maybe about 3 to 4 days. And Goku says, nah, let's not go back in. Shocking Vegeta, and he says, well, there is something called overtraining. And even if so, we ate up all of Popo's stock. We wouldn't be able to go back in there. We would be overtraining ourselves. We're already nearly at our limits right now. And training even harder won't even really get you much stronger. You'll just end up injuring yourself. He says that we'll be ready to fight Frieza. And so, Vegeta in turn would stay at Capsule Corp for the couple of days, and you'll start seeing a slight romance between him and Bulma. That would still happen. As 4 days would end up, the Z Fighters are ready. As Vegeta through the communications would hear where Frieza would be landing at through coordinates, they would then wait. Frieza would then land with hundreds of Frieza soldiers. The Z Fighters would all fight the Frieza soldiers with pretty much ease. As, remember, they're still really powerful. They can fight off the Frieza soldiers pretty well. As the main threat would be Frieza himself. As Frieza would then square off against Vegeta and Goku. Now, of course, first up is Vegeta himself. The Prince of All Hairlines needs to get his get back. So he would battle First Form Frieza and completely overwhelm Frieza with ease, telling Frieza to transform. He knows that he has one. And so Frieza says very well. Frieza would then go to his second form. And although he's much larger in stature and does look more intimidating, it doesn't scare Vegeta that much. Vegeta says, wow, you've doubled your strength. Impressive. But not enough against me. As the two would then go at it again, Frieza doesn't believe him. Vegeta proves it by overwhelming Frieza. And now, Frieza would then go into his third form. This is where the fight between him and Vegeta get a bit more serious, but Vegeta does have the slight edge among third form Frieza. And Vegeta then states, if that is your final form, then you will lose. Frieza would then laugh and state, oh no, not my final form. I have one more transformation to show you. Frieza will begin to transform into the lizard that we all know, into his true form. This is when Vegeta starts getting overwhelmed, as Frieza is far above him. As then, someone would then call Frieza out and say, hey, it's my turn. As Frieza would then throw Vegeta to the side, he would then glare at this Saiyan. How he dresses, how he acts, his attitude, his personality is the opposite of a Saiyan. He doesn't even have a tail, nor is Vegeta. But still, who is he? He says he seems familiar. Where has he seen him before? Frieza then realizes, wait a minute. He looks just like the Saiyan that challenged me before I destroyed planet Vegeta. I understand. It must be an offspring of some kind. Doesn't matter. He was a low class and a weakling, and so is he. As Frieza would then begin fighting Goku, Goku's not yet used the Speed Force. Now Goku's power is slightly above Vegeta, so he handles himself a lot better. Mind you, they do have an emergency Sensu Bean in case things get really, really bad. As I remember, Goku never went to Namek, so he didn't use up a bag full of Sensu Beans to train. They still have one, at least. Maybe Yajirobe snuck some as well. But Goku at least has one Sensu Bean for a complete emergency. And he knows on how strong Frieza is, Goku will do everything in his power to defeat Frieza. As then, Frieza will start to overwhelm Goku. Frieza would then be shocked as Goku would then use the Speed Force, blitzing around Frieza in speeds that he never seen. Not even Frieza could actually track Goku. Goku would use this to then deliver powerful punches on Frieza, or Frieza can't even see them coming. Because remember, Frieza cannot sense energy, and Goku realizes this. He tracks with his eyes, and Goku says, I get it. If I'm faster than Frieza, he cannot track me with his eyes. Goku would then begin to get into the running position as he would then charge. As the Speed Force electricity would then surround Goku, he would then use more Speed Force he's ever used before and blitz around Frieza. Almost like a red tornado, as Frieza just can't track him. Goku was punching him hundreds of thousands of times. Frieza was getting furious because the punches were stinging a little bit. He would then fire a massive attack into the ground. Frieza realizes that he must stay on ground or something. Frieza stops it. As then, Frieza catches Goku off guard. He uses his tail and he's able to grab Goku. Frieza says, I got you now. As Frieza would then deliver powerful punches to Goku, not letting him go by using his tail. Goku, funny-wise, would then bite Frieza's tail, being able to free himself. As Vegeta would then come to, Goku says that they're running out of options. He does have one idea, the Spirit Bomb. He says, if I have time to charge up the Spirit Bomb, I can charge it even faster with the Speed Force and throw it at Frieza. And so, Vegeta would then be given energy. Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin would actually give their energy to Vegeta, which is not a huge help, but it does replenish his energy. So Vegeta would then continue battling Frieza, who Frieza's beginning to torture Vegeta, wondering why is the Saiyan raising his hand. Now, Frieza would just notice a Spirit Bomb before Goku finishes. As you know, Goku finishes it twice as fast because he uses the Speed Force to speed up his ki channeling. As, remember, using the Speed Force on top of the fighting that he's doing, Goku's getting tired. He would have enough energy to form the Spirit Bomb as Vegeta tells him to hurry up. Goku then chucks the Spirit Bomb. The Spirit Bomb makes a huge crater, which is so massive, they were nearby the ocean, that it almost makes a whole new ocean, destroying miles of land. As the water would then begin filling in, making small islands, they were able to pull themselves out of the water, and they seemingly killed Frieza. As Krillin helped them all up, Piccolo was then fired with the Death Beam, same with Vegeta, who would then collapse. As Goku would then stare in shock, as Krillin was also killed as well. This would then send Goku over the edge. something is happening to Goku. His rage is bubbling worse than ever before as his hair is rising upwards. His surge of Speed Force is almost overwhelming Goku. He's never used this much Speed Force energy before. It's almost tying into his transformation multiplier, being 50 times more. He's overcharged on Speed Force energy, as his hair then turns into a golden color, but then turns slightly orange, as his eyes would then open, turning into a yellowish red. As with the Super Saiyan aura channeling around him, but it has red and orange electricity of the Speed Force surrounding him, Goku is now in his Super Saiyan Speed Force mode. With this, Goku is not only channeling 50 times more Speed Force than he normally could in his body, he also has the speed increasement multiplier and strengthen more of the normal Super Saiyan, which is literally kind of busted. Goku would then look to Gohan as he almost feels like he's going to explode with how much power he has. He would then drop a sensu bean on the ground, telling Gohan to give it, split it apart, and give it to Piccolo and Vegeta. Now, Vegeta and Piccolo, they do have some pretty deadly wounds, but splitting a sensu bean will heal him. And he says, "Hurry, I don't have much more control over myself." Goku's brain was in hyper mode. On top of the rage, increasing it by 50 times, he was thinking nothing of just killing Frieza. Goku would then blitz in front of Frieza before Frieza could even see it. As there was an after image of Goku still standing there for a few seconds, he would then grab Frieza's hand, telling him that you don't even deserve to live for what he's done. You have no sympathy. He would then blitz 4 powerful punches to Frieza so fast that Frieza didn't even feel it yet. Before the impacts were so strong, it would launch Frieza backwards. Because you guys have to remember, speed also increases how much something hits. If Goku runs full speed and he punches something, the faster he can punch something, the more powerful the force is going to be when it hits. Imagine that on top of 50 times more speed using the Speed Force. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. As Goku would then look at his hands, they were almost vibrating in speed. Goku doesn't even know what he can do. That's the scary part. Goku would then tell Frieza that it's over, it's done. He's not going to take any chances with Frieza, considering the fact that Frieza is so dangerous. And on top of this, you have to think, they're on Earth. They're not on Namek. So Goku's taking more special care of his planet. He doesn't want it blowing up. Frieza, of course, would then tell him that he hasn't even gone full power yet. Goku would allow Frieza to go full power, going 100%, much to King Kai telling him don't do it. And Goku says, "No, I have to. I will not lose." And so Gohan would then get far away, as Piccolo and Vegeta are pretty much recovered from their fatal wound, but they're not to full health. As Vegeta watches in shock, and as he grits his teeth, but he then laughs and states, "For my own eyes, I can see Frieza being afraid that he's a Super Saiyan." In that short moment, he's not angry. He's just happy to see Frieza be tortured. As now that Frieza's at 100%, he tries to fly in and attack Goku. Frieza's punches go through Goku. Goku is moving back and forth so fast. It's the same scene when he fought the Ginyu Force Jason Birder. They were just flying through him. Same with the Ki Blast because of how fast he moved. It looked like he wasn't moving at all. It was just going through him. Like he was a ghost. And Goku says, "Is that all? You increased your power only to be this slow?" And he says, "All that waiting and that's how you repay me? I'm disappointed." And Goku says, "This is speed." Goku would then deliver a punch to Frieza's stomach. It was so fast that no one could see it, and it took a few seconds for Frieza to even render that he was hurt, as Frieza would then feel the impact, but it was too late as he already had a massive hole in his stomach from where Goku delivered a fast blow. And Goku says, "You are not defeating me, Frieza. I'm gonna give you one chance to leave. Never return." As of course, Frieza would never accept this, so Frieza out of desperation would try to blow up the planet, but Goku would stop him, stating, "I even gave you a chance to walk away and you blew it." Goku would then throw Frieza into the air, as Goku would then charge up a Kamehameha wave, throwing it right at Frieza, which would completely incinerate the Emperor, leaving no trace of him behind. As Goku would then calm himself, he would then revert back to normal. His Speed Force was kept under control, as he would then fall exhausted, and Frieza was defeated. Now, since that fight was done, a few years would then pass. Trunks would still arrive like the original, where he is searching for Goku to tell him about the imminent threat of the future. Now, this is the original version of Trunks, no shocking change, which is always hilarious when there's always something crazy happening and Trunks is shocked to see the change of time. Now, Trunks would still find Goku at Chi-Chi's home, where they're at, and he's surprised to see that Goku was here a little earlier. Did he arrive a bit too late? Either way, he still tells Goku if he can turn into a Super Saiyan, and he wants to see it. Goku would do so, having basic control over it, but his Super Saiyan form is different, and the power that he was emitting was beyond anything Trunks has felt. The energy was above anything. And he says, I've never seen this before. What are you? And he says, oh, it's something with the Speed Force. Trunks has no clue what that is, so Goku briefly explains it to him, and Trunks never knew that Goku had that. No one ever told him that before. And he says, well, anyway, he explains about time travel. He explains who he is. He explains the androids. Now, Goku knows a little bit about time travel because King Kai told him. And we all know if Goku runs fast enough, he can actually go through time. I know that some people probably want to ask, can Goku go through time right now? No, not yet. He cannot run through time, but he can run to maybe through some space. But he can't run through time yet. Maybe he can run to a different realm if he wanted to, blitz through there. But no, he's not able to run through time. He is close, but not yet. That's going to be a whole different realm of power that we'll touch upon later on in maybe part 3 in the finale. But now, Goku would then get the heart virus medicine from Trunks, and things would go the same. Now, they would then have 3 years of training. The same events would happen to where Goku would fight Android 19. One thing to note, wouldn't the androids have some access to the Speed Force? No, they do not. Will the androids be stronger because Goku's more powerful? They might be a little bit stronger, but not by huge margins. You have to understand, Dr. Dro's technology can only go so far at a time. And it also stopped at the Saiyan Saga. So yes, Goku was a little bit stronger. That is 100% true. But not as much as you think. I mean, they even saw Grade 8 Vegeta with a power level of 160,000. And the androids were at the strength they were. So they wouldn't really change that much. Maybe a little bit. Not much to notice. Now, Cell would have still been in the timeline. As you know, Cell's doing his thing, slithering around, absorbing people. As Goku would succumb to the heart virus. We know that the Flash has accelerated healing, but he would still get hit with the heart virus. Now, we'll touch upon his healing in 1 second, as when Goku would then be transported over to Master Roshi's island, and he was given the medicine, he was recovering at a very fast rate, because the medicine was healing him quickly. But Chi-Chi had to almost constantly give him the medicine because his body was burning at a really high rate. Goku was actually using the Speed Force to enhance his healing so he could heal faster. But in turn, Chi-Chi had to, of course, give him the medicine every couple of minutes instead of every few hours to even every day because of how intense Goku was. Now, carrying on, the androids will still be brought out. 16, 17, and 18. They would have still defeated Vegeta, who has Super Saiyan now, and they would have went on their own thing. Piccolo would have still fused with Kami. Now, mind you, they will still have Dende, but we'll touch upon that in a moment. As Dende was not selected yet, but carry on. As Popo states on how they can always bring a Namekian to Earth to make more Dragon Balls if they ever need to. So Piccolo agrees to fuse with Kami, and he would go fight 17. Their fight would pretty much be the exact same. Maybe you could say Piccolo is a little bit stronger, fighting a more powerful Goku. That is a very plausible reason, but I would still say that Piccolo would of course be at a standstill with 17, putting up a very good fight. Cell would still wait for them and arrive, attacking Piccolo, who was weakened. And he would then trick 17 and absorb him. Now, during this time, 16 and 18 were then hiding on the islands. Vegeta and Trunks would then step into the Room of Spirit and Time and start training And you have one of the coldest moments where when Cell did find them, Tien actually used his Tri-Beam for hours, holding Cell down, which is actually an insane feat if you really think about it. But we're not going to talk about that because that wouldn't happen, as it wouldn't get to that point. Krillin would still find 18, but he would destroy the remote, as they don't think that they're evil. Now, you could say that, oh, well, then Cell just found 18 and 16, and this is right before Tien would start blasting him for literally 3 to 4 hours. Goku would then recover, as he recovered much faster than he did in the original. And so because of this, Vegeta and Trunks still have about 4 months left to train inside the Room of Spirit and Time, aka about 4 to 3 hours. Goku would have awakened, and he's back to full health. Goku would then immediately travel to where Cell is. Now, Goku does have a Senzu Bean. How is this? Because he never used them all from Namek, so he still has a Senzu Bean left from Korin. And so, Goku would then take some, and he would then go battle Cell. As before Cell could grab 18 after he smacked around 16, Goku would blitz Cell out of nowhere, launching Cell off his feet, as Cell would then land a bit far away. Goku would be in shock, as everyone, where did Goku come from? Cell does remember seeing that. He says, wait a minute, what? As 16 would state, Goku, I found you. But he doesn't care for that right now because they're too injured. Goku would then tell 16 and 18 to get away from here, fly far away as you can, as he would then fight Cell. Now, Cell was intrigued to fight Goku, and he notes on how, I don't know what you just did. Remember, this Cell was from the original version of Cell, so he doesn't know anything about the Speed Force at all. And he says, I don't know what that just was, but your speed is incredible, but your strength is lacking. You can't match me. Your power level's too low. Now, Goku has not transformed yet. If you guys remember, his Super Saiyan is enhanced by the Speed Force, so he's way stronger than a normal Super Saiyan. Goku would then battle second form Cell. Now, when he does transform, Cell's in shock. He's never seen this before. Goku is way faster than Cell. Cell can't touch him. Goku's attacks don't do too much to second form Cell, but he starts to get damaged over time. As Goku is still pushing himself in this form, he would then use his phasing through attacks. Goku was able to run so fast that he can run through molecules, and which would then explode parts of Cell's body, but Cell would just regenerate. And Cell's getting annoyed. Cell would finally catch Goku, as Cell would then destroy the ground, causing Goku to slip. Cell would grab him with his tail and begin assaulting Goku, punching him bad. Now, Cell is still a lot stronger than Goku in this time, and Goku is getting overwhelmed. Even though he is stronger than normal Super Saiyan, mind you, Cell is a monster. Goku hasn't trained yet in the Room of Spirit and Time. Now, he is a little bit more strong than the original. He's slightly around the power of 16, maybe a little bit higher, with and godly speed. Cell just has the strength. Once when Cell captures him, he's able to then deliver the beatdown on Goku. Now, Cell would then deliver a powerful punch to Goku, knocking him through multiple rock pillars. Goku was badly wounded. Goku would then smirk to himself and say, thank goodness I got a Senzu Bean. As he would pop a Senzu Bean, Goku would then be back to full strength as he then jumps up. He feels stronger. Why? Because Goku got a Senkai, as he was pretty badly wounded when Cell attacked him, breaking a few ribs, maybe even puncturing his lungs. Luckily, eating a Senzu Bean saved the day. Now he has to focus, as Goku's never used the Speed Force to its full potential before. Now he's going to try, as Cell is one of rare opportunities where he can actually go all out. With the Zenkai on top of the Speed Force, Cell would have no chance. As Cell is then running out of options, Cell would then try to think about blowing himself up. But before he could even start to inflate, Goku would deliver a powerful punch. Goku would run all the way around the planet 100 times over. And this is all within less than a second, as Cell couldn't even process what Goku just did. Goku slowed down time so much as he's running so fast that time almost stopped. Goku charged his Speed Force to full power. He flies in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Cell, which would make Cell spit out Android 17, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan style. Cell would then spit everywhere. 17 was then spat out. Cell would then try and absorb 17 again, but Goku would then grab his tail, he would then spin so fast, causing a tornado, that Cell was then launched. Goku would then charge up a full power Kamehameha wave, firing it right at Cell, who couldn't dodge in time, and he was completely incinerated. Every last cell of him was destroyed, as there was nothing left. 17 was saved. As the androids would then arrive, 16 would not attack Goku and state, "No, my programming is not there no more. It's over." Goku saved them. And so, Goku was a bit tired. Vegeta and Trunks would then show up shortly afterwards. Now, Vegeta was angry that Cell would of course been defeated. He then sees the androids. He was ready to destroy them, but Goku says no, they're good, they have not caused any problems. So Vegeta would then outright challenge Kakarot to a match, as he was ready to battle him. Now, Vegeta in his ascended Super Saiyan form is even stronger than second form Cell, but Goku using the Speed Force, it would be a pretty crazy fight. As who will come out on top? It would actually be Goku. Although Goku fought Cell, and yes, he's a little bit tired, Goku would never turn down a chance to fight Vegeta. Goku's raw speed would just be too much for Vegeta, and Vegeta's too cocky and arrogant. Now, Vegeta's final flash was a problem, as Goku could barely dodge that attack. But Goku was able to beat Vegeta. He was able to blitz Vegeta just enough, but it was an insanely close fight, and Goku was about to lose as well. Either side could have won, but Goku came out on top barely, and he was the victor this time around. If Goku was at full health, he would have handled himself a lot more better against Vegeta, but he was already a little bit tired after fighting Cell. Now, of course, this ends the Cell arc early, meaning that there's no Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or anything like that, but he would still train Gohan, as he knows that Gohan has incredible potential either way. So, we are then going to jump forward 7 years. 7 years have passed, Gohan will still go to the Orange Star High School. I feel like by this point, Gohan does have Super Saiyan at least, and since Goku is around, he does train a bit more normally. So Gohan's not as much of a slouch, he is actually stronger than his original self at least, but he doesn't have Super Saiyan 2. But, what about Goku? Well, Goku never really went to the other world. You could say that maybe he did travel there and train for a couple years, but he was just still alive. That is very plausible. He could. The only realistic way that he could ever go there, remember, he doesn't have instant transmission, the only way he could go there is if Dende could bring him there, because Dende was crowned the new god of Earth and he can travel to the other world. We saw that Kami could do it, Dende was also given the power, he could do it as well. Or Goku used a Dragon Ball so he teleported there, or realistically King Kai can also teleport there, but he never did, and it's also partly because he was halfway dead. One thing that I think could be really fun is Goku actually ran there. Now, Major Dragon, how is that possible? Goku, for the first time, was able to run through and go up the dimension. I think that would be insane, as Goku would always wanted to try it. Goku was part of his training. So Goku would go into a Super Saiyan mode, bumping his Speed Force up to the max. He's much stronger by this point because this is years later. He would run so fast that he would run off into space, running so quickly that he was actually able to rip a portal open and actually run through and land in King Kai's world, landing comically into the ground as the portal then closed. Now, this is possible. We have seen characters rip through dimensions before. Super Buu and even Gotenks have been able to scream so loud that they actually ripped through the infinite dimension of the Respirited Time into their other world. It is possible. So, why can't Goku do that? Makes sense with the Speed Force, that's what its magic power is. Magic. He can go through dimensions, and later on, he can run so fast, he can run through different universes and time itself, controlling it on his own. But we're not going to get there just yet. So, Goku would actually be able to make it to King Kai's world. Now, King Kai would note to Goku, you're not allowed to do stuff like that, it's way too dangerous. Because jumping through a dimension, you could cause a lot of problems, but jumping through time is illegal. Goku says, I never tried that before. And he says, that doesn't mean try it. You don't even know what'll happen to you. Goku says, nah, I'm not going to try it. What do I want to go through time for? I'm focused on the future. I'm not going to travel to it. And he says, nah, I just wanted to drop by and say hey. And King Kai says, could have just called. King Yemma might have pulled a string and maybe teleported you here. He can do that. He does have control over your soul. Goku says, I want to see if I could do it. Making King Kai fall over. He says, oh my goodness, you're going to be the death of us. Oh, but he says, okay, fine. So Goku would do his training for at least a few years in the other world, meaning that he will learn about the fusion dance, meet Piccolo, who he would actually beat much faster in the little tournament that they had, and pretty much the same events would happen as they would still meet the Supreme Kai, and this is after 7 years. Goku would arrive at the tournament. Now, Vegeta wouldn't have as much disdain towards Goku and have much of evil in his heart, because he's already fought Goku multiple times throughout the 7 years. He respects that Kakarot is number 1 for now and above him. He actually respects that. And it's only pushing him to train harder. So Vegeta doesn't have any evil intent to fight him. Also, he can fight Goku whenever he wants, as Goku's not dead. They thought Goku was never going to come back again after this, as Goku only had 24 hours. But Vegeta was excited to see he could fight Kakarot again, of course, anytime, but it was halted by, of course, the Buu stuff, which Vegeta doesn't care. He'll fight him another time. Now, Supreme Kai would, of course, let Gohan have his energy taken. Gohan would turn Super Saiyan, and for fun if you want, seeing Videl being defeated and nearly killed by Spopovich and Yamu would make Gohan actually go Super Saiyan 2 against Kibito. And this would be insane to see, and Goku was shocked to see how strong Gohan actually is. Gohan's power at this point is relative to Goku and Vegeta when they originally fought Majin Buu. Maybe a little bit weaker. I would say he's probably a little bit stronger than he was when he fought Cell, but a little bit below Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Now, Gohan would have his energy stolen purposely, and they would follow it back to Babi's ship. Now, this energy was enough to nearly fill Buu up to more than half power, but they needed more. Now, Vegeta would easily beat Pui Pui, Goku would beat Yakon, nothing much that could be done. As unfortunately for Babidi, we would quickly find out that Majin Buu wouldn't even be born. The reason why is because Deborah would be sent out to go fight, but he would have been killed by either Goku, Vegeta, or even Gohan, who's much stronger than Deborah now. Even in Super Saiyan, he could fight him and overwhelm him. Super Saiyan 2, he would beat him pretty easy. Deborah would have been killed. Babidi would not have enough time to get enough energy. He tries taking over Vegeta's mind, but Vegeta would then reject the power, as he doesn't want to be taken over. So Babidi has no choice. He would have been killed, and Buu's egg would have been taken. So Majin Buu would never be born. This means that there's no Oob as well, and there's no insane arc jumping back and forth. Now, the Supreme Kai is still interested in Gohan. He still offers Gohan to actually be trained. Gohan would accept it, so Gohan has more time to train using the Z Sword. And I still think that him and Goku would have a funny scenes where they do break it, as Goku would just travel with them because there's nothing else to do. And Elder Kai would then appear. Now, Elder Kai, when he does see Goku in them, he's in shock as he could sense it. He says, "You have access to the Speed Force?" Goku says, "What?" He says, "The Speed Force. Energy." He says, "Oh yeah, that power I've had." He says, "I don't know how you got it." And Goku says, "Oh, well, I don't know, just kind of do." And he says, "Oh my, this could be really bad." He said, "If Lord Beerus finds out, or even up higher levels, this could be dangerous. No one should be allowed to have that power. It was banned. As with the power, you're able to even do things such as time travel. That's way too dangerous." And he says, "Well, not my problem." As then he would then look to Gohan, as he would then allow to have Gohan's potential unlocked and unlocking Mystic Gohan, and Gohan would then battle his father. Gohan would actually hold his own. Gohan's strength is much stronger than Goku's, but Goku has speed, and it'll be a pretty good battle. And it would pretty much just be a draw. They wouldn't really, it's not a crazy kill to the death fight. It's just a cool little father and son fight, and Goku is amazed how strong Goku is. He's powerful, he's fast, it's incredible. And so, him and Gohan would then go back home, Gohan would still get with Videl, and things were very peaceful. Now, far off, a certain purple cat has awoken, and he has had reminiscences of a Saiyan god. He then lazily travels down the stairs, takes his steam bath, has some sardines, as he would speak to Whis saying, "Oh yeah, did Frieza destroy the Saiyans?" And he says, "Yes, my lord, but, oh my." As Whis was looking, he then sees, as he thought he felt something before, but he kind of blew it off. Using his staff, he investigated it recently. he says that it appears that there are a few Saiyans remaining, and one of them is actually a user of the Speed Force, making Beerus spit out his food, stating, "What? That is impossible. It was banned billions of years ago. How can a mortal have access to the Speed Force? There's no way. Zeno banned it." And he says, "Well, it appears here as an infant, the power was almost given to him, though we don't know how or why." And he says, has he traveled through has he done anything? Because Beerus is actually a little concerned. This person can do whatever he wants with time, even erase Beerus if he wants to. And Whis says, "From my observations, no. He has ran through a dimension to meet the King Kai of the North, but other than that, no. He seems to have a really good control over the power. He doesn't seem to be for evil intent." And now Beerus is interested. He says, "I need to go meet this Saiyan now." And Beerus says, "Right away, my lord." And they would then head towards Earth, where Bulma was celebrating her 38th birthday party, where events will take a shocking turn. Our story last ended with Lord Beerus learning of the Saiyan son Goku and the fact that he has the Speed Force. Now, if you guys already know, the Speed Force was banned among mortals and gods or anyone to use that power because of how dangerous it is, as it's almost impossible for anyone to even use it to begin with. Now, Beerus knows that if this is the case, he could travel through time if learned enough, and that could cause a whole problem. So Beerus wants to go meet this Saiyan right now. If this Saiyan cannot keep his powers under control, or he's even a threat to the balance of the universe, Beerus will have to stop him. As they are then heading towards Earth, even Whis states himself, "My lord, if he has fully mastered power over the Speed Force, not even you could maybe match his speed." And Beerus says, "Shut up, no, it's fine." They would then arrive on Earth, where Goku was with his friends celebrating Bulma's 38th birthday party. Goku would not be on King Kai's world this time, just because. And when Beerus does arrive, the first thing first he wants to see is Goku. This is more of a serious matter than even his rival that can match his power. This is serious, because if Zeno finds out, or others, this would cause the destruction of their universe, maybe even all the other ones, if Zeno feels like it. You guys remember, Zeno got mad and he wiped out 6 other universes just like that. Well, Lord Beerus would then meet Goku, where he would walk right up to him and begin almost inspecting Goku, seeing what Goku would do. Now, Beerus would explain who he is and the fact that he knows that Goku has what's called the Speed Force, and he says that that power should not be held by anybody, nor gods, nor even mortals for that matter. And he says, "I should just Hakai you right now and finish the problem." But Goku explains, "I haven't done anything bad at all." And Beerus says, "You haven't time traveled." He says, "No." He says, "You never tried." He said, "No, not really." But then Beerus would not really sense any evil intent from Goku, so he says, "I want to fight you then." He wants to see how Goku can control this power. So, Beerus still has this premonition of a being that could rival his power. Now, some people might ask, well, wouldn't that just be the Super Saiyan God? It definitely can. And if Goku reaches that divinity, who knows how fast Goku can actually use the Speed Force. Because Speed Force, we're mixing in a little bit of Dragon Ball, does kind of tie into some of the transformations, because he can just increase his power even more. Base Goku was already absurdly fast. He's way faster than the original, not even no concept. But imagine when he stacks transformations on top of it, how strong Goku can actually become. So they would still get the 5 Saiyans needed to give their energy to Goku, having 6 total, thus birthing the Super Saiyan God. Now with this, Goku has no clue how far he can actually reach with the Speed Force. It's almost like he unlocked a whole new realm of power. Because remember, Goku was still immortal. He's still held back. But imagine if he unlocked divinity, how far he can really use the Speed Force. It's a whole new world of power, which is very dangerous. Having that kind of divinity and that much Speed Force within you will cause other beings to get a little curious, maybe something more deathly. Well, Goku would then begin his battle with Beerus, not using the Speed Force as much. He wants to kind of use the power of Super Saiyan God first and get used to it. But then near the end of the match, Goku starts using the Speed Force, and Beerus cannot keep up with Goku. Goku was even shocked with how fast he can move. and he's not stopping his growth. Beerus says this is becoming a problem. He's getting too fast, to where not even Beerus can keep up with Goku, and Goku's able to hold his own much better against Beerus dodging his attacks. Beerus can't even lay a finger on him. Beerus would even go full power, where one strike could actually kill Goku, but he just can't hit Goku. Goku's too fast. So, Beerus has all the strength where he can one-shot Goku pretty much, but Goku has the speed, and he cannot touch Goku. Goku's just landing millions of punches on Beerus, which aren't really hurting him, because Beerus is still far above him in terms of raw strength, but speed, Goku has him way outclassed. Now, Goku would then lose the power of Super Saiyan God, but he still tries fighting Beerus in Super Saiyan. He did absorb the power within himself, getting stronger, but in the end, Goku would just soon run out of stamina because his attacks aren't really doing anything to Beerus. Now, Beerus might have durability and strength, but he doesn't have the speed. Goku would just lose. And Beerus would spare Goku, explaining that you still controlled yourself even after all that. And it's also because Beerus is kind of lazy when it comes to this stuff. He just says, no matter what, never time travel. Don't even try it, or else I will have to destroy you. He explains how serious it is. He says that it's banned among beings that are even higher than me and my teacher Whis. They will wipe out the entire universe in an instant if they find out that someone is using time travel. So, Goku would understand. So Goku and Vegeta would still go to Whis' world where they would continue their training. Now, Whis is very interested. Although Whis is concerned that someone has Speed Force power, he has the power to where soon he could cause problems for everyone. But Whis doesn't really see Goku doing that. Now, Whis will still train Goku and Vegeta. They're still training. Now, Vegeta did get a few months of training before Goku, so Vegeta was able to catch up to Goku in terms of strength-ish level. Now, one thing to note as well, Goku can increase his potential. A lot of people don't know that because he can increase his ki circulation. He can literally increase his cells and increase how strong he can get at a faster rate. He can heal himself faster, he can train faster, so he is completely outclassing Vegeta. Now, Goku with the Speed Force power, would Whis be able to catch Goku if Goku tries using it against Whis? Well, one thing to note as well, Whis has Ultra Instinct. Now, Ultra Instinct works to where if the being is stronger than you, you cannot touch this being. And even in small cases as well, when the person is much stronger than you, you are able to dodge most attacks unless their speed is further than yours. We saw this with Jiren, to where although UI Goku was fighting a base form Jiren, and Jiren did get the upper hand, in some cases, Goku was dodging a lot of his attacks. Although Jiren was a lot stronger than him and faster, Goku can just dodge instantly without even thinking. But then when Jiren started getting more serious, he started really going all out. Goku was getting hit a few times. And so it's kind of a weird statement. It's almost similar to the Hakai technique. If the person is much stronger than you by a huge margin in terms of speed, strength, they are able to land hits even on somebody who has Ultra Instinct, although it's still very difficult. So this means that when Goku is fighting Whis, training with him, even Goku using the Speed Force, in my opinion, in Super Saiyan Blue, which is even 50 times higher than Super Saiyan God, because it's just Super Saiyan stacked on top of the God form, in more simple terms, that would mean, would Goku be able to hit Whis? I would say yes and no. I think that Goku can actually scratch Whis whenever he really goes all out using Speed Force. But Goku doesn't go full board. Why? Because if he uses too much Speed Force, he could accidentally travel too much. Goku using Speed Force is very dangerous. He has to keep it controlled. But if Goku did go 100% right now, he was attacking Whis, he would actually be able to maybe land a hit on Whis. That goes to show you just how fast Goku actually is becoming. It's kind of ridiculous. It's where he can overwhelm somebody who has Ultra Instinct. Now, Whis can still one-tap him. If Whis lands a hit on him, he can kill him because Whis is far stronger than him. But in terms of speed, Goku's high up there. Now, of course, Vegeta is training harder than ever to try and keep up with Goku, although he is struggling, but he's doing his best. Now, the events of the Golden Frieza arc. If Frieza was wished back to life, we all know what would happen. This version of Goku was stronger than the original because he can increase his potential, and he's also training faster. On top of this, you also have a Goku who is infinitely times faster than the original. What is Frieza going to do? Even if you put Frieza training for a year, it wouldn't have mattered, because Goku would just be faster than him. And on top of that, if Frieza trained for his 3 months, he gets his golden form, it wouldn't really be Goku, I don't think, fighting. I think Vegeta would then step up first. You could maybe say that Goku fights Frieza in his base form when Frieza went to his final form. They kind of went at it a little bit. I don't think Goku uses Speed Force much here in this scenario, because Goku's already above Frieza. Now he's even stronger, so Frieza kind of has no chance against Goku. That's when I think Vegeta would then step in. Goku's more fine with it because Frieza was outclassed by him pretty easily. Then we would see Blue Vegeta versus Golden Frieza. Now, Vegeta was pretty much the same strength as Goku, and we know that Goku got overwhelmed by Golden Frieza at first, but this wouldn't happen this time. Why? Because this version of Vegeta, number 1, trained with a stronger Goku. Number 2, is training harder than before, having more motivation because Goku's so much stronger. So Vegeta is in turn stronger. This means that the domination from the start of the match when Golden Frieza was overwhelming blue level characters wouldn't happen. Vegeta would pretty much be even or a little bit above Golden Frieza, overwhelming him. And Frieza would soon get weaker and weaker because of stamina problem. Even if you say Frieza spent more time training his form, maybe an extra month, because Frieza potential is weird, and he mastered his golden form, it don't matter. I still think that Vegeta would have won. It would have been a good fight. Vegeta would have won, and Frieza was in his final form. One difference here, Frieza blew up the planet out of desperation. Vegeta did drop his guard. This would not happen. Why? Because Goku would see it. And Goku would use his Speed Force ability, grabbing Frieza before he could blow up the planet. As soon as he sensed Frieza's energy spike to blow up the Earth, Goku would have already been there, stopping Frieza and killing him with a single strike. And this would have angered Vegeta, who then threw Frieza's body and destroyed it. He was angry at Kakarot for stealing his thunder, but Goku says you didn't see it, but Frieza was going to blow up the planet, and he would have succeeded, and Whis would have even confirmed it. As Whis could sense it too, but he just didn't do anything, because Whis is neutral. Now Beerus was bored. He says, alright, let's go back home, I'm tired, as they had his strawberry sundae. Now, for the events of the Universe 6 and 7 arc would be a little bit interesting, because Champa would have no chance. Hit was his most best fighter, and his is his time-skipping ability. Goku already was outpacing Hit, even in his time-skip ability, before with Kaioken. Imagine a Goku with the Speed Force and how fast he is, or he's able to land a punch on an angel. Yeah, unfortunately for Hit, his time skip doesn't mean anything. Goku would just run around like it's nothing. It's child's play to him. That is nothing to him. So let's just say that most of the fighting goes kind of similar. The one difference here is I don't think Vegeta and Piccolo would have a turn. And why is that? Well, it's actually, maybe you could say against Kaba, maybe Vegeta wants to jump in. Maybe he takes down Kaba, Vegeta, and then he loses against Hit, and then Goku then steps in. Maybe, but realistically, Goku would just blitz the whole team. There's nothing that they could do. The only kind of cool fight would be Vegeta, because Goku's punches maybe not do too much against him, but you gotta remind you that Goku would just, kind of defeat him. So, unfortunately against Hit, wouldn't really do too much, as you could just say that Vegeta swapped places with Goku because he wanted to fight Kaba, and Vegeta takes out Kaba after Tishima turns Super Saiyan. He defeats Vegeta by yelling something mean at him, and then when he fights Hit, Vegeta does a little bit better than the original, but Hit does defeat him still. Vegeta was tired after fighting so many matches. Goku then jumps back on in. Also, the event of Frost poisoning Goku would not go the way you think. Why is this? It's because Goku would willfully step out for Vegeta to swap in. Goku's still in the tournament. This means that Piccolo wouldn't realistically have a turn. So when Frost originally poisoned Goku, Goku was poisoned, was knocked out. That wouldn't really happen. Why is this? Well, number one, Goku's vision's much better. You can even say maybe he even spots it. But if he was still poisoned, remember, his system is moving way faster than the original. The poison effect would not last. He would still be a little woozy, maybe for about a second or two, but then he would shake it off as the effect finished. And Frost was in shock. How did he do that? Goku didn't know what that was, but he would have knocked him out, where Frost was then revealed to have a secret needle, and Goku was then the victor. So that's how that match would go. Goku would not be knocked out, and because of Frost cheating, Goku would be able to kick him out before that would happen. Because his body's moving much faster, he would overcome the effect of poison at a much faster rate. So then, Goku versus Hit, we know how that goes. His time skip would not do anything to Goku. Goku would overwhelm Hit with absolute ease, knocking him out of the ring. The match would have been over. Beerus would still wish for Champa's world to be brought back. That would all go the same. Now this is where our story is going to take a huge turn. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. The Goku Black arc. Now Trunks was still fleeing for his life against a being who was so powerful and so fast that Trunks has never seen this before. Trunks was able to escape using the time machine. The person allowed him to. Why is this? Well, Trunks doesn't know. He just remembers waking up and trying to hit Goku, thinking that he was Goku Black, as the hair looks similar. Trunks would then explain what's happened. He explained that in his future, things were peaceful until one day somebody appeared. He was so fast that I couldn't even keep up with him. And he says that he uses the Speed Force. This surprises Goku, and Goku says, "Who is he?" And he says he doesn't know, because this person had a mask covering his face. But he says that he wants to destroy all versions of Goku. Now, of course, this would shock Goku himself. And he says, well, why? And he says he doesn't know why, and he doesn't know why he was in his timeline. Now, of course, we know why, but he says that he said that he came from a different time, somehow. As shortly afterwards, this being would then appear, jumping through time. The being would then stand there, but they couldn't really get a grasp on what he really looks like face-wise, as this being would then instantly turn to Goku. That's who he's been looking for. Now Goku asked, who is he? And what does he want? And he says, I want you. Goku says, what? And he says, I want your power, your Speed Force. That's what I want. Now, of course, Goku was shocked to hear this, as this doesn't make any sense. Why? Why does he want his power? Now, this user would explain that everything in due time will work out. Trust me. And he explains that there's a bigger picture that you don't even realize. As him and Goku would kind of go at it, Beerus is dead serious on this because there's somebody else that can use the Speed Force, and his control even seems better than Goku's. This being and Goku would kind of go at it, boxing each other up. Goku uses the Speed Force, and so does he. He would run circles around Goku and explain that you're still immature with the Speed Force. You don't know the true power that it can grant you. But don't worry. Once when I kill you and take all the Speed Force, I will change everything. And Goku doesn't know what that means. But then, this being would then flee, as he would disappear, and they don't know where he went. Whis explains that this being left. He traveled to a different timeline. And Goku says, well, what do we do? And Beerus says, this is out of your control now. We need to go see Grand Zeno. Now, Zeno would still call for Goku. Remember, Goku still has the Zeno button, mind you. Zeno would personally need Goku to come here. So Goku would then travel towards Zeno's palaces, and then they would speak to Zeno. Now, Zeno knows that Goku does have the Speed Force. He's omnipotent. He knows. He's been allowing Goku to have it, but he says that this other guy is a problem. Zeno explains that he cannot catch this being because he's so fast. He's running to different timelines before Zeno could do anything, and they can't catch him. And then Goku would then turn around to see a version of Trunks. Oh, that's weird. Trunks, wait, weren't you just back in Earth? Trunks would then bow to Zeno, as then another Kai was with him, the Supreme Kai of Time. Trunks would then talk to Goku and explain who he is. He explains that he's not the Trunks that he knows. He's actually a version of Trunks from a different time that was destroyed. He's a time patroller. He explains that they control time itself. Every reality, every time, everything, they control it. this being is trying to kill every version of Goku. They don't know why. Trunks believes, with this kind of time, it's because he's trying to absorb more of the Speed Force. Each Goku that he kills, he grows stronger. And Goku says, well, how do we stop him? And he says, he wants you as the main course. You are, other than him, the only other Speed Force user. He's trying to delete you, trying to get rid of you. And Trunks says, killing the competition. Maybe when there's no more Gokus left, he then learns the ability of Speed Force more to where then he's able to kill you, take your Speed Force. With that power, he can reshape the entire everything into his own image. Not even Zeno could stop him. And then Goku says, well, what do we do? He says, the problem is, what can you do? You are the only one that could stop him. And Trunks says, you don't realize the power that you have within you. You need to push it past its limits. And Trunks says, because if we do not, something is going to happen. The Speed Force will punish you and come after your soul. Goku says, what? He says, you don't want to know. But then Goku would then go back to his normal timeline, as Trunks would let them know what happens, as this version of Goku Black is traveling different timelines. He's killing Goku. Now, Goku would finally get a jump on him, as Goku Black himself has just handled a few versions of Goku. Now, these versions of Goku don't have the Speed Force, but the more that he's fighting Goku, the more he's learning about the Speed Force, because Goku Black has natural growth, as he is in fear. As he would then look at a timeline of a version of Goku that he defeated. This version of Goku, of course, maybe unlocked Super Saiyan early, or whatever, doesn't matter, he was just killed. As Goku Black is in fear, he says he needs more, or else it will come kill him. As he knows he needs to leave. Then a portal would then open up, as it was Goku himself arriving with the Time Patrol. Goku would then challenge Goku Black, and Goku Black knows that they can't hang around here. It is coming. It senses Speed Force users. As him and Goku would then begin going at it, chasing each other, fighting each other, as the version of Goku Black is above Goku slightly in terms of skill with the Speed Force. Goku's able to hold his own in terms of strength. Goku Black would then stand completely still in fear, as it has arrived. And what is it? Goku would then stay still, as Goku Black says, don't move. As then, an ungodly screech hit their ears, as even Trunks and the other Time Patrollers are terrified of it. Now, of course, it's not looking for them. It's looking for the two speedsters. And we all know what this thing is. It's death itself. Death for the Speed Force users. Now, originally, we know the name is Black Flash. Black Flash is a being that is basically the Speed Force's version of the Grim Reaper. Now, basically, this being, or creature, or entity, basically chases after Speed Force users who overuse the Speed Force, who wants to bring their souls and connect them to the Speed Force. Goku Black's whole plan is to be the Speed Force himself. Well, this is the Speed Force kind of overusing it. It's personification of death, and it's going to return their powers to the Speed Force. Now, Black Flash is originally known for his ability to harvest the souls of speedsters and ensuring that they are reunited, because Goku Black is not maintaining the balance of the Speed Force. Now, of course, we're not going to call it Black Flash. We can just call it maybe Black Goku, but it's not that. It doesn't look like really anything. It's just a monstrosity. But we'll just call it Black Flash for fun, because why not? As it's a hulking monstrosity, and Goku and Goku Black have to stand completely still, but it doesn't sense them. Goku Black would then flee, being able to escape the Death Flash, as it already left the area. And Goku would then arrive back with a Time Patrol where it is safe For now, as long as Goku doesn't really use the Speed Force, he explains what was that thing. Trunks would then get grim and he explains that was death. He explains that they call it the Black Flash. It's basically the Speed Force's version of a Grim Reaper and Collector. When there's an imbalance in the Speed Force, somebody abusing the power or causing an imbalance, it sends that thing. Its speed is unmatched. It will collect your soul and bring you to the Speed Force itself. Goku Black is trying to become the Speed Force itself. That thing is trying to correct it. And he explains it doesn't matter if it senses the Speed Force, it will kill you. Now, of course, this gets very serious as Trunks says that we need to stop this version of Goku Black. Now, they would then finally get another track as Goku Black is almost calling for Goku to come after him. As Goku would then travel with the Time Patrol helping him to a random timeline. As Goku Black was waiting for him, he explains that this is far enough away to where the Black Flash cannot catch us, but this is where it ends. He explains, once when I kill you and take your Speed Force, I will be able to become the Speed itself. And Goku asked him, who are you and why? As the mask would then come off as it was Goku Black, as we know. Now Goku is shocked to see his own face, and he says, how? Why? As he puts the mask back on, he explains, I've always hated you. He explains that my real name is Zamasu, the Kai. He explained that long ago, he met Goku himself. Now this version of Zamasu is not the one that we know of. He's from a completely different timeline. I met you. You, instead of being born in Universe 7, was born in my universe. You were evil. You grew too much in power, and you then killed my master Gowasu. Killed all the Kais. Destroyed that universe. I then realized that I could not let a mortal like you survive. So, to ensure that mortals could never have access to the Speed Force, I will become its sheriff. Becoming Speed Force itself, and killing every version of you, so you will never be able to use the Speed Force. He doesn't understand why it chose him, but he needed it. So how was he able to unlock the Speed Force? Simple. He just recreated what happened. He was able to swap, using the Super Dragon Balls, into Goku's body. He then saw and knew how he unlocked the Speed Force would do to the lightning. He would then recreate and be able to learn how to tap into the Speed Force forcefully, and now he has access. But he explains, and of course doing that imbalanced the Speed Force, which gave birth to that monstrosity that you saw that's hunting after me, and potentially you. And he explains until the balance is fixed and it has a soul, it will not stop. And I would much rather it be you after I'm done taking your power. And it'll kind of leave me alone. And he explains that I've already killed thousands of versions of you, and there's only a few left. Once when I do, I will then destroy the Time Patrol, having access to time itself, being able to jump wherever I want. And nothing can stop me. Now, of course, Goku and Goku Black would begin going at it, chasing each other and battling one another, using their own speed. Now, this means that, of course, Goku needs to use more speed than he's ever used before. As Goku Black says, come chase me if you can keep up. He then flees. Goku would then begin chasing after him as they're running so fast, they're jumping through universes, dimensions, everything. And he says, let's go faster. Show me how fast you can become. He then begins jumping through time. These two are fighting and jumping through time, different timelines, different realities, everything. By going so fast, they're jumping through different multiverses. As each punch that they're delivering to each other, they're jumping through different portals, different dimensions, to where we even see them fighting different versions of Goku was there. One was even an Omni Goku and Omni Vegeta who actually kept up with them for just a split second, but then it disappeared. One was a different version of Goku. They were jumping through different what-ifs of Goku that were created by somebody. As they would then see a strange-looking version of Goku who had a great sage, one that was half Namekian. They then had one that had Goku Black's adaptation. They then had one who had permanent Kaioken, one that was born early, one that was locked in Whis' staff, one that was half angel. As they were then going faster, he says, you see? Look at all these different versions of you. As they were then standing in between timelines that had all these orbs of these different versions of Goku that were created. All different versions. And he explains, why don't we go faster? So much faster. And he explains, come on then. As they begin, because they're bouncing off one another, they're getting stronger, but the more they're fighting. They're going so fast, fighting one another, that then death has appeared. The Black Flash. Black Flash will begin chasing them as they are running so fast from him that they are beginning to jump to different concepts. Black Flash would then begin tackling Goku, trying to attack him, as then Goku Black would appear, kicking Black Flash. Both of them actually fighting Black Flash at the same time because of how dangerous it is. The Speed Force is being used so much that as all three of them are fighting to survive, as a single punch was thrown as they're running, they would then be in a strange world as Goku would look around. Then there was a strange man with a cape. His name was Omni-Man. Omni-Man will be confused on who he is, as then Goku Black then tackles Goku, jumping to a whole different concept. As then they'll be confused looking around, wait, what is this? A strange ninja like being Naruto would then fly in, but then it was the middle of a battle, and then boom, a different reality, and then a different reality. One even had Marvel, one even had DC, to where then another man appeared and ran alongside Goku himself. As he would then laugh and explains his name's the Flash, and he says he'll give him a little help. He then gives Goku a nudge, giving Goku some more of the Speed Force, and Goku be confused on who that guy was. He seemed pretty cool. As, while fighting, they would then land in another strange world. As then Goku Black would then get up laughing at how insane this is. This is incredible. Infinite possibilities. We can run to different concepts. Isn't this amazing? As they temporarily outpace the Black Flash with the normal Flash's help. As Goku Black would then see a strange man with a cape. His outfit was horrendous though. He had a bald head. He actually had a bag of groceries, and he says, huh? Who are you guys? Now Goku can sense limitless power from this being. As Goku Black would then say, another bald fool. As Saitama would kind of be irritated that someone threatened his bald head, he would actually throw a punch towards Goku Black that would actually hit him and shatter some of his mask, which would launch Goku and Goku Black to another concept. They would then land back in their whole concept of Dragon Ball, landing back as Goku finally got the upper hand on Goku Black from whoever that bald guy was. He doesn't know. And that other dude who named himself the Flash too. He kind of looked pretty cool. He helped them out. Goku was so overcharged with Speed Force energy, he was absorbing Goku Black's power. Then the Black Flash found them again. And this time it's not leaving. Goku Black would then beg Goku to try and stop him. As the Black Flash runs towards them, Goku would then grab Goku Black, putting him in front of himself as Black Flash would then stab his hand through Goku Black's heart, ripping out his soul. As then, Black Flash would then look to Goku as it would then disappear. Now Goku was beginning to get overcharged with energy. It's too much Speed Force. Now, Goku knows that he needs to somehow put it back. So Goku, it's almost like it's calling to Goku. Goku would then run full speed to somewhere. He doesn't know where, just calling to him. He would then be in nothing but total darkness. He would then see just a ball of light. As Goku would then reach his hand out, he explains that he doesn't want this much power. It's too dangerous for anybody to have. As the ball seemed unstable, it was imbalanced. And then Black Flash was there too, putting the soul inside of the strange ball of energy. Goku doesn't know what's happening as it stands behind it. Goku would then hold his hand out as then the lightning of the Speed Force was being taken from Goku. As Goku was then reverted back to normal, as Goku felt like he was going to explode with so much power, it was too much. As then, the Black Flash would just kind of dissipate. As Goku doesn't know he still has his Speed Force energy, of course not supercharged like it was from fighting Goku Black and getting supercharged by another version of a speedster, they don't know, as Goku would then be sent back to his normal Earth, back to his normal timeline. Everything was fixed. Whatever that ball of light was, it almost called to Goku. Maybe it was the Speed Force itself. Everything was okay. The Time Patrol was fixing the timelines. Goku was back in his time. Zeno forgave Goku as long as he played with him. And Trunks would then go back to his timeline. Goku would actually still get a future version of Zeno and bring him back. Things were normal. And Goku was in true shock. He never realized that there were so many realities out there, different beyond his own 12 universes, something out there with different concepts of characters and whole different worlds that he's never seen before, different stories. And he really wished that he could fight more of those guys. It's infinite possibilities, but he's content where he is now. But he knows how dangerous that power is. No being should have that much energy. So, now that we're back down to normal Dragon Ball stuff, hope you guys enjoy the little roller coaster. We would then have Goku, of course, during the events of a Tournament of Power. Would this happen? Potentially, maybe because it's kind of like Goku's sorry to Zeno. Zeno, of course, is mad at Goku for misusing the Speed Force, so Goku says, how about we have a fun tournament where everybody can fight, be fun? Goku still would have voiced it in the Universe 6 tournament, so Zeno was still down for it. This means that the Tournament of Power would still happen. Now, with Beerus having Goku on his side, yeah. Although Goku was, of course, not as supercharged as he was when he fought the version of Goku Black and all that, he still has all of his Speed Force. He didn't lose it all. He's just not being too overwhelmed by it. He's still even stronger than before, which means versus Jiren, Jiren would have no chance and Jiren would have been defeated. Now, Goku would have still brought Frieza back, which means that the events of the Broly movie would still have happened. And unfortunately for Broly, he would not be able to match mainly Goku. Goku's too fast for him. And or Vegeta. So Broly would have been defeated, but sent back to Vampa with Chilai's help. Frieza would have been let go. Now, during the events of the Moro Saga, it would, again, Goku would just blitz Moro. There's nothing that Moro can do. Yes, he has magic that can absorb Ki, but not Speed Force energy. It would be pretty dangerous if he could actually absorb Speed Force energy, but realistically, even if you wanted to say, sure, why not? Why doesn't he absorb Speed Force power? And he does get faster and stronger, but it overwhelms him because his body's not used to it and he dies from it. But either way, there would have been no chance. Now, one thing to note, would Goku have unlocked Ultra Instinct? No, he wouldn't have, as it wouldn't make too much sense. Now, would he have learned it? Maybe, as having Ultra Instinct with the Speed Force is kind of redundant because Goku's so fast it doesn't matter anyway, so I don't really think Goku needs it. Now, Vegeta would still unlock Ultra Ego, as that would make him much stronger. Now, during the events of the Gas and Granola arc, although Gas and Granola did wish themselves to be much stronger, Frieza would have still trained for 10 years. That would have still happened. Unfortunately, I think Goku would have been able to beat Frieza. Now, Major Dragon, how's that possible? Now, although you could say that maybe Frieza's stronger than Goku, I think that would not be the case. Even if Frieza trained for 10 years, I think it'll be a good battle, with Frieza being on similar strength with Goku, but Goku having much more superior speed to Frieza, and Goku would have killed Frieza. Or you would have had Beerus step in as the fight is getting too intense. It was stated to Ritaro that Beerus is still stronger than Frieza currently. He stated that, so Black Frieza would have lost. Now, what about the events of a superhero movie for Gohan, Piccolo, and Red Army? That would go the same. We're going to say it goes the exact same. Why would it really change? As for the past that point, really, there's no one else really to talk about. Now, I know I did skip over Daima. Daima would just end much faster. No, I don't think Goku would unlock Super Saiyan 4 because he wasn't overwhelmed by Goma. All he had to do was just hit him in the head 3 times, in the back of the head, and he would have won. Goku being so fast, even as a kid, Goma wouldn't be able to hit him. Goku would have been able to knock the eye out of him, and he would have been defeated. So the events of Daima was just kind of skipped over. It would have been ended so much faster. And this is it. So that is it for this series, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I kind of blissed over the last couple of arcs. It's just because it would go so much faster. Goku is so fast, and on top of that, he's much more powerful than the original. He doesn't need Ultra Instinct or anything like that to defeat some of these enemies. And unfortunately, Frieza would have still arrived, maybe even killed Granola or even Gas. Goku would have battled Frieza. That would have been a good fight, but Goku's still above Frieza in terms of speed. Beerus would have either killed Frieza or Goku would have beaten Frieza himself. The main threat was really Goku Black, and Trunks just went back to his destroyed timeline with Mai, and things were okay for Trunks. It's just they started rebuilding the world again. So anyway, that is it for this What If. Thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's hit to 50,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.